Hey, it says that I am live. Time to fix that. So, for anyone who ever watches this, I apologize. This is not intended for your viewing pleasure. This is simply intended as a test run of the streaming experience, as it were. I'm trying to get comfortable with the idea of doing things on a computer screen and generally understanding how this whole process works. So, for any of you who stumble in, which I doubt, highly doubt that you will, because I expect that I am probably amazingly obscure when it comes to the internets. Yeah, that's kind of how this is working. So I was thinking there's a few things that I could do on this first and virgining stream. First of all, I've thought about eating nachos. That would be delicious. And I'm somewhat hungry after my first day of PD, getting ready to go back to school as an aide. I must say it is rather disconcerting. I'll have to watch on the playback of this video, but as I watch myself speak on my own stream here, I am rather not in time with my own lips. Like my lips aren't moving appropriately. Also, I really have no idea what this looks like, so I'm going to go try some other menus and see. Now I'm definitely not streaming over there. Yeah, so this whole process is new and interesting. If anyone does stumble across this and wants to give me advice, feel free to offer said advice in the comments, which I assume will be somewhere in this general direction. If someone were to type anything to me, I'm going to go ahead and type something into the comments just to test out the feature and make sure that that is working the way that I expect it to. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. Hello. Ooh, there it goes. How, not the word how, are, wow, this is going to be very slow. You doing? There we go. How are you doing? We should probably have a question mark there. Yeah, that didn't work. There we go. I do not type well. Typically, I ask my computer to type for me by using the little Windows H feature. I love that addition. It's very, very good. So, what to discuss? Probably why I'm doing this whole thing in the first place. Why have I ventured into the internetosphere, as it is referred to by absolutely no one, except for people like me who like to invent words? Well, I'll tell you what. The reason that I am here is a simple one. Not enough people in the world enjoy hearing me talk. Now, that's really just cutting right to the quick of it. I enjoy, hearing myself talk, and hence, let's see if we can get that window. There we go. My head is now in the window space, so I think we're good now. So I enjoy hearing myself talk, and not many other people do. My wife, she is awesome, but eventually tires of hearing this lyrical voice. And my children, as wonderful as they are, I have two of them, by the way. We're going to call them 6 and 10. The one is 5, soon to be 6, but we'll just go with 6 and 10 to be general. to average things out there. They are wonderful, but again, just don't want to hear me talking exhaustively. So my thinking was that if I could find people in the world abroad that would find some of the things I enjoy talking about interesting, or if I could just find perhaps some people that were sympathetic to my plight and were willing to lie and tell me that they enjoyed hearing me talk, that would be a great way to remedy this kind of void that I have when it comes to. No, it didn't freeze. My brain sometimes freezes up. You thought that perhaps the video froze for a second, and that was not the case. Yeah, so anyways, I figured that I would try out this whole streaming thing. There's some various things that I think I might talk about in the future. I have lots of crazy ideas, from electing presidents to video game design to, that's about as broad as you can get, right? Between those two things, I've got some stand-up routines that I might try out on y'all. I've got, just a lot kind of clunking around in here that, that we may spew onto the screen and see what sticks. It may be the kind of thing where if anyone ever does decide to watch what's going on my channel, probably the first people to, jump in will probably have a lot of weight in determining what might come next. I do have some how-tos that I plan on doing once I figure out how to actually make videos as opposed to just live stream. Making chicken is something that I have a pretty solid handle on. Also, my kids and I will probably make pancakes at some point, and you guys can watch that process, as it were. And also, I have some video games that I do at times enjoying playing. Usually nothing that requires actual skill. I do play Fortnite with my son, but that would just purely be so that you could laugh at how bad I am at that particular game. Faria is something that I've played from time to time. It is a lesser known game, but when it comes to strategy games, I feel that it is pretty solid. Sadly, the game that I really had the most experience playing, which was, well, now that I forget it, SoulForge. SoulForge was a game that I played for quite a while, and then it was not around anymore, and that made me quite sad. But we shall speak of that no more. So anyways, we're at almost the 10-minute mark. I think probably more than 10 minutes of this would cause the random viewer to probably just cut out their own eyes, possibly duct tape their ears shut for the remainder of their life in hopes they would not hear anything so terrible ever again. So I will go ahead and bid you adieu. For anyone who happens to at some point watch this video, again, I warned you at the very beginning that it would be quite terrible. This really is not invented for anyone's viewing pleasure at all. It really is simply so that I can watch it back and convince myself not to attempt to do this with my life. That is not my life. I have another job. This isn't going to be any kind of income for me. I'm just purely experimenting, trying to figure out how it works so that I can explain it to my son, because my son really wants to do this. And I figure that I should be a good dad and maybe figure out how to help him. So long, and we'll see you next time. I highly doubt you probably will never, ever come anywhere close to this channel again. But, thanks for just showing up and saying hi. I think I should probably click the button down here that says end stream. So I'm going to do that now. There we go.